Hey there!
Hello!
Hello. We are Anime in UK and we are here to do our MCM COMIC CON review. It's only Saturday night, so technically there's still Sunday, so I guess technically this is a review without the Sunday. The only reason we're doing it now because our wonderful Rebecca here is...
I'm going home tomorrow.
She's going home tomorrow. She's got a busy week at work, so unfortunately she cannot do the Sunday.
Yeah, I really can't afford to miss any work at the moment because we're due a consultation on building move.
Right, so this is of course we may have noticed we have put a lot of MCM COMIC CON, like for us anime fans in the UK. I'd say normally MCM COMIC CON is an absolutely huge event.
MCM is usually
I'd say the biggest, as in scale of large, biggest, not necessarily the most like, but the biggest, normally the biggest they normally have all the retailers, all the anime retailers, all game stuff. All like new licenses always get announced there, and so we'll get into that in a minute. So today we're doing our review on MCM 2021 October because there was no May, and so this was our first MCM sort of in 2 years. 2 years, 2 whole years, 2 whole years of her without an MCM. So it was kind of. So let's sort of get into almost beforehand. So this was kind of the lead up to MCM. Yeah. So of course there was always the possibility of whether the rules would change and MCM would be able to run. So I think that was always sort of something in there. Of course we had EGX that was 2 or 3 weeks before. 3 weeks before.
2 weeks.
2 weeks before. Yeah, 2 weeks before MCM, in the same venue, run by the same company, and. EGX is a video game convention, and they normally have like the biggest names of video games. They normally have Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and then all like Square Enix is there, Ubisoft is there, like everyone. It's like Ubisoft without fail will normally promote their Far Cry. Like I've been there previous years and they were promoting like Far Cry 3, Far Cry, they normally, that's one of the places they really will push stuff like that. So this was literally, this event was in the same venue 2 weeks before by the same organisers, and kind of what happened with that, if you want to look up hashtag EGX refund, I believe it is. We weren't physically at the event. I almost did go, but I was holding off buying a ticket, which was odd at first. That was my first warning sign because EGX tickets sell out like mad. So that, well, I was like, well, that's something wrong with that. And then I noticed that no big publishers had been confirmed, because normally at the bottom of the website it will say like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. And then that's when I realised, I was like, oh, it doesn't look like they're coming. And the day came and come, and literally they had charged full price for, essentially, from my understanding,
EGX versus event.
Yeah, it was a more indie game dash. I think the only real big game they were pushing was Fall Guys. At this point, it had been out for 18 months. They did actually look like they had some really cool sort of Fall Guy mountain thing. But, that was the weird thing. And, at that point, I was like, okay, that's not good. I was even like sort of saying in MC, I was talking to people that saying that's sort of not good. Then people were like, well, it's a different event, you can't compare events, and so that was kind of almost, I guess in that way, our first warning sign of bad things to come. And then about 5 days ago, we finally got sort of the MCM. Now we've already got news through that Funko Pop
wasn't coming.
The official Funko Pop store wasn't coming. We also had the news. What else wasn't coming? Tofu Cute. That was not normally a very big stall in the Japan sort of
Asia area.
Top Asia area.
No art box.
And so there already have been some people. So finally started getting exhibitor lists through, and this is when we started. And this is funny because if you watch our podcast, you know I keep saying, "Oh, I'm going to pick up a load of DVDs from Anime Limited." They weren't on the lists. Funimation wasn't on the list. We thought it was weird because we thought, as they had just rebranded to Funimation in this country, you thought they were going to this would be their MCM to really show off what they had. Then it was just like all these big companies weren't there.
I knew Viz weren't coming.
Yeah, Viz had already said they weren't coming. So it was like, so no one's sending manga, no one's sending anime DVDs. You're kind of like that. That's a bit worrying. Like, I mean, okay, I will give Anime Limited still came in virtual panels, but from my understanding, they were all pre-film panels, which was a shame. We didn't get a chance to see one. I think they actually ended up putting 2 of their panels on at the same time.
Yeah.
In different rooms, which seemed really weird because then you'd think any anime fan's going to want to see both those panels. Yeah. So it seemed a bit weird, like why schedule that at the same time. So then we had the map and we could almost see that it was the same amount of room they always had, but you could see there was nowhere near as many stalls that there normally would be. And so this is all leading up to it, so we're all great. We're like, great, excellent. So so now I guess we can officially start on day one. So we get to the convention hall.
Yeah.
So in our vlog.
Yep.
And what's it? Of course they have to do COVID tests.
Yeah.
On this day, they did it very well. I had my COVID passport. There literally was down at the bottom, and they checked it, and they gave you a wristband, which I have taken off. It was like a blue wristband, and. They just gave me that wristband, and no, I thought that day it was done really well. Yeah. Then we got into the centre. They did like the the bag checks. Then they got a new badge system. I don't have my badge with me. It's over there somewhere.
Yeah, let me just get mine.
Do you want to get yours out? Rebecca's like shows you this is like MCM. Like, we're just trying to get videos out as fast as possible. This is why we're like we have literally just done 2 full days at MCS. That's the new badges. Apparently they're meant to do really cool stuff, but they didn't get a chance to implement them. So this is us personally. We had no problems. We felt very safe. We understood this was the first convention back.
No,
big convention back. We understood there was always going to be some limitations to the event. And so we got in, and even like we're walking around like there's the middle hall, and we're like, this is really empty for what this is normally like.
Yeah.
Even you were saying. It was like, okay, it feels like something's missing here. So literally, we got into the main hall, and there was so much room. Yeah. Which was a good thing because of the COVID thing, but you can see the main reason that there was probably so much room was because, unfortunately, it looks like a lot of people have decided not to come. Yeah. So, this came from a friend on Facebook who actually runs a stall at MCM, has run in previous years.
Yeah, but I have an online shop.
Has an online shop. And they normally actually run quite a big store at MCM. And this was kind of weird that they weren't on this, but they said, like, people have been asking why I'm not at MCM. And they said what it is it's gone up in price, which is fair enough. They said, like, I think it's gone up by £200, which is fair enough. But this is the main problem. This person has to hire 8 people or bring in 8 people on top to manage their stall because they have such a big stall. If they only had, I think, the 2 of them that work there, they probably would really struggle. So they had to bring in So that's fair enough. But what they're doing now is they're making, outside the first 2 people, you have to pay for a ticket for your staff. That meant this one stall would have had to have paid an extra £800, I believe, on top of what they all. And you can understand, of course, with the pandemic, they're still, this is a risky time. This is not a time to be making really like having to pay a whole £1,000. And what they're saying is that profit margins are like very small and very especially at this time, even like beforehand. And that's what they were saying, is that we did not come in because they're expecting us to pay over £1,000, and that's probably why a lot of exhibitors aren't coming, because they literally are expecting them to pay for their staff to come in. So this kind of did remind me of something that I have another channel called Car Boot Tim. The local car boot I went to, they had this thing where they sort of changed owners. And what happened was, I think they were trying to more make it a nice sort of more family car boot, not with all dealers and stuff. And what kind of happened was they changed all the prices. So before it was like a tenner a car, like £15 a van. But people were like showing up almost in lorries, and then they started like giving all these new prices out. So it was like like £35 for a van, and then it's like, oh, an extra person's another £5, and oh, if you want more than one table, that's another £5. So what kind of happened was just nobody showed up, and the car boot was like totally dead for like 3 weeks, and then like 3 weeks later they were like, oh mate, actually we have decided to change our pricing plan just to have, you know, a car VAT price and a van price, which, you know, fair enough. So we're really hoping here that I think my first problem with MCM is I understand things go up with inflation, especially with the situation, the pandemic we just had. But please, MCM, if you're watching, please be like me. You do need to change this. Having to pay for each and every staff member.
Yeah. I think that some of the stores that weren't here this year, people tend to go to MCM for them especially.
Yeah, there were people like Anime Limited. I normally go for them. I mean, I don't know an official like reason why they didn't come down. I do know they just had their Scotland Loves Anime, but hearing things like that, I'm like, I know they also have a lot of staff members. They have that, you know, they have a very big store, so they have lots of staff members. So I can imagine you know, I'm not saying they necessarily had to sit by like the same thing. I can understand when companies are like, I can't afford to spend a whole extra £1,000 on a stall at a convention just after, you know, with a potential that nobody or A will get cancelled or B not, you know, we don't know what the attendance is going to be like. So people just could not show up. So I will say this, the artist alley was very good.
Yes.
So let's get some positives here, because I think we're being a little bit negative at the moment. Artist alley really good. They're giving like everyone like little backboards now.
Yep.
That makes it look a little bit more professional. In a way, I actually did kind of like that all the shops were all in one place.
Yeah.
You get that, they just sort of stick it all at the back and you forget where shops are, and you'll find a shop like one day and you go, oh, I'll come back here later on. And you just never find it again.
I know that feeling.
You just another thing I must say, well done on getting rid of bootlegs. I think I saw 2 stores selling bootlegs. And
2 out of how many?
2 out of so many. So that is really, considering how literally at one point it did really feel like every other store. So maybe hopefully we've have some of these bootleggers out, or like maybe some of these bootleggers go away. Some of the more notorious bootleggers that are always at MCM were no longer at MCM. But the other thing I did notice, and I said this today, is I looked up and
there's no posters.
There's no posters. MCM, I'll probably have posters, like pictures up. There's always big posters all up over the hall, and it'll be like promoting the latest movie, like all the movies coming soon, like DVD releases. It's like, figuring out Hero Academia.
There's a movie out
next week. There was 0. There was promotion for it. The only promotion I saw was for that Amazon series.
Yeah, but it's Amazon. They got Lex Luthor money.
Yeah, I know you got that movie money, but that's ridiculous. Like, normally MCM always.
And it's like the little magazine had stuff about June.
Yeah, but it was just so weird that they just didn't like. Normally, like last time I was there, I remember there was a stall for the Watchmen TV series. There was like there was a stall for the Chucky reboot. There was a stall for the what's it called? The prequel to The Shining. Oh no, sequel to The Shining. You know, it was just all stuff like that. Like I was just thinking, like how many stalls there was. Like there was no video game companies at all. Nobody was showing their video. There was a video game area, but it was like only retro video games. Yeah. Which we do love, but so yeah.
No testers, no nothing.
No testers. No like come and buy a game. Like normally you get NICSC America. You get like Capcom are there a lot. Square Enix are there a lot. Nintendo is sometimes there. Sony has pretty much been a mainstay for the last few years. None of them there.
No.
None of them there. And as I said, MCM ticket prices have gone up to £75. And I'm just like
85 for a weekend.
85. And then the fact that the weekend tickets sold out so fast. No, I mean, it was cool. There were some cool guests this year. I actually haven't gone to meet any this year. But I mean, they've freaking got Loki, so you can admit, they have got some good. So this is the thing that is mostly frustrating. I have gone to Comic Con now for 15 years. 15 years!
Wow.
And I think I said this is that, and this is yesterday, and this is before what happened, because there is some stuff I want to cover that happened today that I think we really do need to talk about.
Yes.
Don't worry, people who think that we are just thinking there was a lot more issues today.
Yeah.
I kind of said this. I said next MCM, I'm not coming for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I said I'm coming Friday and either Saturday, and I think I said Saturday, but I think after today it may be Sunday.
Yeah.
I
usually do Sunday only, but
yeah, she normally does Sunday only. And then I said, and if it's anything pretty much like this one, yeah, I mean, if I'm off of work, I may come in for one day, but if I'm not gonna like waste weekend. Like, you know, I'm okay going abroad and to other things. There's like other things that I'd like to go to more. And that, you know, that's what I kind of said. I kind of said to you before. I said that is my personal opinion. Is how I am feeling right now after this Comic Con. I mean, all the store owners I met, I actually was speaking to a lot of them, and they did say they were all doing really, really good business. So I'm really happy, because I know a lot of them would have probably risked quite a lot of money. Really, probably risking their entire business.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see. I mean, I have some those really nice people. So it's good to see that their business is not going to, and they're really good businesses, and you want to support them. Lush was there. We should have said before we sort of go on to the negatives of today. Lush was there. That was a bit of a left ball, but they seem very nice. That was sort of the normal store you would expect.
Yeah.
Oh, CEX, that's another one wasn't there.
Yeah.
Game, they were normally there. So it's like it was always like
EMP, Hard Times Clothing, Tokyo Toys.
Tokyo Toys is like, and MCM are like best friends. It's like this is like you telling me there was a MCM without Tokyo Toys. I mean, like they're one of the flipping like title sponsors for most of the time.
Yeah.
Like most of these guys are like title sponsors, and they're not there. And like you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like what? And it's just. The people are amazing, the cosplayers are amazing, the store owners are amazing, the people who have showed up are amazing. Yeah. And I'm not even angry at the people who didn't show up, because I think they actually had real good reason not to show up.
Yeah.
It's just a real shame that I just really think Repop have just not really thought this out. And of course they've now announced they cancelled Manchester and Scotland. That really does suck for those people up north. And I didn't understand that. There's people who really do struggle to travel, and there's younger people like I could have I'm a humongous theme park fan, but I only ever got to Alton Towers
last year.
Yeah, because you said my family just are like, well, we're not taking you all the way up to Alton Towers. I all the way up there to just go to Alton Towers. So
it's a pig to get to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like going to be for the kids now. It's going to be, I'm not going to take you all the way to London and just go to MCM Comic Con. It's like, if you want to go to Comic Con, you'll just have to go. It was not. I know it wasn't as big as the thing, but at least brought atmosphere, it brought people into the fandom. That, as I said, this channel was about. It's good bringing people into the fandom, and that's what I like to see. What else? So shall we just start on today?
Yeah.
All our problems we had today. If we had just done today, I think this review would have just been negative after negative after negative. I don't know. I think after today, I'm really I don't think I would be able to do another MCM Saturday if it's like this. So of course we always understand Saturday's going to be the most busy day, and so we arrived and it felt the total opposite from the day before. That everyone was heaving in a big thing. We have to make sure all our masks are on. We felt unsafe. This is the first time we generally felt unsafe at Comic Con. This is the day before, everyone kept their distance. There wasn't crowds. We always felt we could just stay away further enough away from people. People weren't coming up and hugging us and touching us. Yeah. I felt safe. Personally, I felt safe. Yeah. I know. My thing here, I felt these aren't situations COVID hopefully would not spread in. Yeah. But today was a different story. As I said, it literally we were almost forced into cattle things for the COVID tests. And I mean, we showed them the COVID test, and we've been like told different stories of people saying like they don't scan it. And I think I even heard one person told us today that they literally had a wristband from the day before, and they just went, "Oh, you got a wristband from the day before. We'll just give you one again." So, of course, I understand they were under a lot of pressure, but that is kind of really worrying if people were. But I will admit, on the other hand, we did see people getting sent away, and I think there was like a testing centre downstairs, so people were being made to go down like to the downstairs to go and get tested. And literally people were standing there downloading the app. And I mean, they did say over and over again that like, look, we're doing the COVID test now, people. You don't have the app downloaded, please. So yeah, as I said, we all know this situation where people get told over and over again to do something. So again, we got in, and I will admit today we didn't go straight to the hall. We went straight outside to do some photos that we hope you have a video up somewhere. Look on our channel. You asleep?
No.
No, yeah. It shows you we like just come straight off of like 2 days of Comic. Feels like 3 days of Comic Con. And to come up, poor girl. So we did our sort of photo shoot. We actually spent quite a long time out there. Then I think we went to Starbucks to get your zombie thing. And after that, we just went back into the hall. I just felt so unsafe. I had to like put my mask on with my full costume. It just felt so unsafe that I pretty much left the hall straight away. It was just everywhere was heaving. And I think the problem was there was so much people there, but so little to see. Oh, God, you fell asleep. And yeah, what I mean, it was so little to. I think that's the problem. So many people were in there, and there's just not much there. And I think before, like, you'd be able to go to video game stuff, you'd be able to do this. The fact is, it's great a space, but they just need to make the halls bigger or do more halls to make it bigger. And then it was just like, oh my God, it was just so even. And then there's photos online of like the COVID test or the COVID area being even worse than it was this morning, like way like bigger lines. And oh, it was just horrible. And it was just really like today, I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. Repop will really do have to sort it out. She has fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, she had legit fallen asleep.
I hadn't fallen asleep.
You do need some sleep. You do need some sleep. I think maybe this is. Is there anything else you want to add to the end of this?
What we're trying to think. I think we about all days he felt about done about an hour or two before closing.
Yeah, we practically did barely anything today. I mean, no offense, we did pretty much everything we wanted to do beforehand, but there was stuff I think we would have liked to have actually had. Like there was one Pokemon store, and it was just like. The store was so small. The lady was absolutely wonderful, by the way. Kuma cars. But the store was so small that you really have to like wait or like have to sort of get just in to actually see it. So it's just a shame that stores like that weren't given more space.
Yeah.
Like so it's really one of those things. I was like, so after the day was kind of a way less good experience, and that's what I'm hoping. I don't know after this if I could do another Saturday at Comic Con, and like I'm not normally a person who's faced by crowds. Like literally normally the job I have to deal with, it deals with having to face crowds and like literally having to go the opposite direction of oncoming crowds. But today was just like, oh, that was like, I generally am like, it is next May is not good. I fully understand situation, things will, and I think that's one other thing. I think someone said this in one of the EGX sort of review videos, is companies are given budgets at like the start of like in April to like promoting a course. With the pandemic, that budget would have been way less, and I presume going to Comic Con would have been part of that budget. So you can understand probably in April they may have been a bit like, oh, there probably isn't going to be a Comic Con this year again. So like, boys, let's not spend that money on that. Okay. So that was the thing. Is there anything else you want to add?
It's really nice to be back.
It's nice to be back. I will say that. I did. The people I met today were really nice. People I met yesterday were really nice. I still had a good time. So it feels really sad to be almost saying saying like Repop, you kind of got one more chance. One more chance. I think I will be checking out Birmingham MCM, but that is because I want to see a few people, and I'm hoping that maybe a few of the people who didn't show up to this London one may come to the Birmingham one. But yeah, so I'm really hoping for better things. I'm like saying May is kind of
in the balance.
Yeah, May right now I think is Buster is you know, it's either going to be glorious and great or absolutely terrible.
I see.
So hopefully you have enjoyed this random in UK.
So we're halfway.
I was going to say, poor girl, she has done 2 days of Comic Con. She has been so she's been all up all hours. We're going to put her to bed now. And I hope you have enjoyed the video. Keep us subscribe. Give us a subscribe. Say in the comments, wake up Rebecca. Wake up Rebecca. Yeah. We'll get her some coffee. Do you want some coffee? Do you want some tea? We're going to go and get her some tea right now. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please also give your thoughts on MCM, what you personally thought. But it's saying, if we did see you, thank you so much. It was really nice. I said we had a really nice time at Arthur Cosplay on Friday, and it was really cool. Right, so hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I got some nice. You gave me some nice shots today.
Yeah, we got some nice shots. So hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.